If you are a 6, 7, even 8-figure coach and you want to move into the world of public speaking, one of your key objectives is going to be breaking down those barriers and showing your audience that you are just like them. Showing your audience that actually behind the scenes, you're not so different after all. The money in your bank doesn't mean that you don't still have things that you have to overcome, that you don't still have to navigate fear, imposter syndrome, self-doubt, worry, all of the what ifs, that you don't still have failed launches, that you don't still sit behind the scenes and think, how am I ever going to hold all of this? How am I going to jump to my next level? That you don't have situations in the rest of your life that make you question yourself and doubt yourself and have those very normal human experiences that your audience still have. This is exactly what I do with my clients. Yesterday, I was working with one of the top 8-figure industry leaders to bring her story into a more relatable context because she wanted to incorporate that. There was a time in her life when she was having a complete breakdown, and there was a moment, we were trying to pinpoint a moment, and her moment was she was on a jet that she had booked and she fell asleep and she didn't even remember getting on it because she was numbing with alcohol to counteract the situations that she was dealing with. But what happens is if we use that as our anchor, most people cannot relate to being able to just get on a jet and not remembering how you got on it, right? It's unfathomable to most of your audience. So what we did is we looked at the rest of her story and we chose a really deep moment that most people can relate to. Because when you pull out the feelings and the thoughts and the emotions and the experiences, and it's something that mirrors, that is when they connect. That right there is the moment that they're like, oh my God, you mean you feel that? You mean you've experienced that? I never would have thought it because we know consciously that you're a human, but we get so caught up in our own stories of what that success looks like, our own perceptions of how you might have made that happen and how it just fell in your lap, that when we bring your audience to that dip, to that moment where you show and expose yourself as the real human that you are, and you shed that strength for a moment, and you allow the vulnerability to lead, that is actually the strongest thing you can do. That builds the deepest connection. And it's from that moment that you can now bring your audience back out, lead them where you want to lead them, and they see themselves in your story. This is where the true empowerment is. When we can connect, we can relate, we can mirror, and then we become the permission slip. We bring our audience with us as we bring them back out, and they are right there in our world. They're like, oh my God, I can do this too. I really can, because I felt exactly what she's felt. That means that I can achieve what she's telling me I can achieve. This is where the power is. So one of the key things for you as a strong, authoritative leader in your industry is to break down those barriers, pull back those curtains, really remove the smoke and the mirrors of what other people perceive your success to be, and to expose the true vulnerability, expose the human, and build the connection on the back of it. I train TEDx speakers, I train 6, 7, 8-figure industry leaders, all the way to newbies who want to start out on their public speaking journey. We speak to connect, we don't speak to sell. The sales become the byproduct. This is where you turn your message into a movement, your pain into your purpose, where you become known for who you are and not just what you do. This is where legacies are made. Get in my world, come and speak on my stages, come and have one-to-one mentorship, whatever it is that works for you. But this is where you are going to change the paradigm for generations to come just by sharing your story.